Austin Ahlman. Now, you probably haven't heard that name before, and until yesterday, neither had I. I just learned that Austin is running for Congress as an independent in Nebraska, and in just 24 hours, his campaign launch video has garnered over 2.2 million views. He's pissed off both the Democrat and Republican running in the race. He's gotten support from Ro Khanna, and on top of all of that, he is running on a very progressive platform, which we will be taking a closer look at in a little bit. But first, let's dive into his campaign video and take a look together and hear what he has to say as an outsider running in this Nebraska race.
I saw my parents break their backs every day on the meatpacking line to provide for me and my siblings. I was only 8 when Tyson started the Norfolk plant, so I learned young what big corporations do to towns like ours. They stripped them bare.
Immediately good messaging, right? First off, super well-produced video, holy crap. But also on top of that, immediately making it recognizable, understandable, small town living. There was a Tyson plant. Most of the work was probably there. It closed down, and he's immediately not targeting, Venezuelan immigrants. He's targeting the actual problem here, the capitalist corporation that just, decided it wasn't worth it and just, caused a bunch of problems for these people in this town here. So immediate good start here. Let's continue.
They just did it again to our neighbors in Lexington, and the politicians who looked down on us didn't lift a finger to stop it. But my mom did what Nebraskans have always done. She took care of the people she loves and did her best to turn the bad into something good. She built a new career out of nothing but grit, gave her kids a better life, and even managed to buy a little house on an acre outside town like she and my dad always dreamed.
Really relatable messaging here. Again, I continue to be impressed by the content here, right? And the production value. It looks really good, even though he's just driving a car in the still frame and it's just close-up of photographs. They do a really good job. It really tells a story. Very relatable messaging, talking about his mom, losing her job, everything like that. Really cool. Really, really good work here, especially in like a state like Nebraska. It's like, how do you get people on your side as someone who has a very progressive platform? Well, you actually target the system, right? You go the way of Bernie, you go the way of like a Graham Plattner candidate, where it's like the system is the problem here, not, your neighbors, right? And talking about his mom here, a very, powerful emotional story. Really, really, really nice.
I never took the sacrifices my parents made for granted. I became
Classic
the first
American
person in my
dream,
family to go
kind
to
of
college and tried to make my living in the world the right way, uncovering corruption among Democrats and Republicans, and taking on the corporations that are destroying our way of life.
Yeah, again, there it is with the corporations, right? Taking on corporations and also Republicans and Democrats. Screw both parties. They both have their problems. We are all Americans. We are all fighting against the monopolies, the corporations, the big oil lobbyists, right? That is what is causing all of this struggle, all of this hardship, right? A very class-first messaging here. Super powerful stuff. Wow, I'm just continually impressed. Let's continue.
But the security we worked so hard to build didn't last. My dad got cancer, and my mom's employer collapsed. The executives got paid, and the workers got screwed.
Worker first
She didn't
messaging.
have the heart to tell us, even when the bank took the house. And when she took her own life, the eviction notice was in her pocket. In the darkest moment of our lives, I remembered what she taught me. Take care of the people you love and fight with everything you have to turn the bad into something good. So I took on the bank, and my husband and I got our family's home back. I moved in to care for my dad, who's back on his feet and in remission. I stood up for my grandmother, who was getting cheated by utility.
Wow. I'll go back there just for a second, but super powerful messaging here. Really terrible. That is a terrible loss. And again, it's like it's so dark. And it's so serious. And this is the consequences that people go through, that corporations put people through, all of this pressure, all of this anxiety and stress and bills and, oh my God, terrible. But he's clearly, doing some good work out of it. So God, yeah, that's amazing. All right, let's roll it back a little bit to hear about his grandma here, because again, he's talking about now getting into the health insurance part of it and just the struggles that everyday Americans are going through, really real struggles like this one. Wow, okay, here we go.
I stood up for my grandmother, who was getting cheated by utility and insurance companies, and I helped my brother get his small business off the ground, because that's the American dream and the lifeblood of communities like ours. My family's story isn't unique. Families all across our state are fighting, but the only ones who seem to be getting ahead are the elites on the coasts and the politicians who are selling us out to them. Costs keep going up. Wall Street is buying our homes and renting them back to us, and no one is looking out for the little guy. Nebraskans have always been fiercely independent. It's time our representatives were too.
My name is Ahlman, and I'm running for Congress to fight for your family the same way that I fight for my own.
It's time we break up the corporate monopolies that are raising prices and stripping Nebraska for parts.
Yep.
It's time we stop paying for all these foreign wars with our healthcare money.
Yep.
And stop insurance companies from telling us they know better than our doctors.
Yep.
And it's time we show the billionaires in Wall Street and Silicon Valley who are pitting us against one another that we won't let them steal our way of life out from under us.
If you agree, then join us. And let's take Nebraska back.
All right. There it is. Super impressive messaging right there. Very like, there's this constant idea of, right, like the corporations and people at the top are having us fight all down here. You know, we're fighting, looking left and right, fighting with each other instead of looking up, right? And I feel like that Ahlman is talking about that right there. That, you know, the problems, especially he's pushing this in a state like Nebraska, extremely red state, right? So he can't be like, I'm the Democrat, I'm the blue dog Democrat, I love Democrats, and oh, you better boy. You know, like, obviously not, right? Both parties have their issues, and I think that a messaging like this works so much better in a state like Nebraska, and honestly, all across the country, right? Just relatable messaging, you know, true American experience, and also like, I'm gonna fight for you, I'm not gonna fight for corporations. This is the problem up here, right? Not left and right, not left and right, up, right? That is where we need to be looking. So extremely good campaign video here, paid for by himself, right? Paid for by Ahlman for Nebraska, his own campaign. Really good stuff. Yeah, I'm just very impressed. So let's take a look a little bit at the reactions from some people online. This one user saying Austin is more of a Lena Khan and antitrust guy than a socialist, and I kind of get that from the messaging here. But I'm a socialist who is all in on Austin. One, because he is an unparalleled fighter for the working class, and two, because of an independent left populist can win in a red state that opens the doors. Throw down. I'm 100% in agreement here, right? Like, if a candidate like Austin can win in a state like Nebraska, we can go gangbusters, right? It's open season, right? It is just, all across the country, right? We've kind of been seeing that with Graham Plattner a little bit. He is running as a Democrat, he's running in the Senate, but it's very similar kind of style of candidate, right? This, you know, working class guy, farmer in this case, you know, his parents works for meat packing, and like, then, you know, he becomes a politician and learns the system is broken, and it's just very impressive stuff there. Austin has kind of responded to this tidal wave of attention he's gotten over the past 24 to 48 hours or so. And there was even this article, forgot the word. There was this article that was written that talked about a little bit about how both the Democrat and Republican are upset that he's joining the race. And so he says, it seems I've pissed some people off. Look, taking on the establishment of both major parties was never going to be easy. They're fighting back, and that isn't very surprising. But here's the deal. The overwhelming majority of real people in Nebraska, whether they're registered Republicans or independents or Democrats, they all want change. 100%. They're sick of being locked down and sold out on and lied to. Congressman Flood, who's the Republican, is selling us out to big money donors as he climbs the ladder in Washington. Americans are ready to elect independents who work for them, not party bosses or corporate donors. That's why we're going to win. Love the messaging. And he also has talked to the Democrat as well. Here's Rokana's messaging, saying outstanding, retweeting the image here. And then I want to find it here. No. Yes, here it is. So he also is running, so he's an independent, so he's running against the Democrat and the Republican. Austin is here. So his Democratic opponent right here is also, pushing his messaging. He says, my Dem opponent, a former Biden-Trump DC State Department official, just described me as someone who's never had to solve real-world problems. I'm focused on my GOP opponent, but boy, I think I'm more in touch with the problems Nebraskans face than you'll ever be. Wow. And then he continues saying, this is what the establishment thinks is solving real problems, rubber stamping decades of catastrophic bipartisan foreign policy failures. Both parties have only recently discovered that affordability matters to people and are taking too much cash from corporate donors to actually take it on. And he's targeting Backemeyer here, who is the Democrat he's running against, and saying that he emphasized the examiner, the major decisions about Israel and Gaza were made by political appointees and presidents, and now the department's staff. Asked to respond to Ahlman's comments late Thursday, Backemeyer campaign said, this is a complete fabrication of Chris's public service career. So yeah, anyway, Ahlman targeting both the Democrat and the Republican in this race, who are also targeting him. So, gotta give it to the guy. And he's also talking to anybody. This guy right here did an interview with the guy, Grassroots Matt, very conservative guy. He said he doesn't agree with him on everything, but, naturally, Democrats aren't happy. Medicare for All, Citizens United, overturning it, making billionaires pay their fair share. And this guy seems to like him, right? This kind of conservative guy. He says he's not GOP-funded spoiler. He means that he's anti-establishment, right? He represents a faction of the left that many forgot exists, a grassroots populist populist counterpart to the Tea Party or Liberty wing of the Republican Party, right? And so, he says he's an interesting candidate, right? And that's good, right? Cross-party messaging, especially in a very red state like Nebraska, is very important. So now, to end things off here, we're going to take a look at his policy. So he's this independent guy. Oh, he has a good campaign ad. He's talking to people. He sounds like a good guy, but what's his policy? What is his positioning? So I went to his website here, and he has a why he's running here. He has a whole breakdown, meet him, know about him, and then he has a My Platform page, which is what we are on right now. So let's take a closer look together here. So first things first, drive down grocery prices, home prices, gas prices, and farm costs. So he wants to do all these things, prosecute price gouging, end the Iran war, ban Wall Street landlords. Next thing he wants to do, make billionaires pay their fair share, put more money in your pocket. Yes! Cut the federal income taxes to zero for your first 38 grand. Okay. Make billionaires and corporations pay their fair share. There's the big one, right? Protect and expand Social Security and support American families. So he wants to lower taxes on those making less and increase taxes on those making more. Cool. Build a healthcare system that works for you, not the insurance companies, right? So break up healthcare monopolies, cap prescription drug prices, expand Medicare to cover all citizens, and legalize marijuana. So some more medical issues there, and also, the legalization of medical marijuana, which is extremely popular. So yeah, sure, why not? Outlaw corruption and hold elites accountable. Yes. End elite impunity, big money out of politics, ban corporate lobbyists, new leadership, protect our families, resources, and workers from Silicon Valley, and secure our borders to end corporate exploitation. So he's talking about we'll secure the border and send violent criminals back. So he's using some more right-wing conservative framing on here, but he is talking specifically about violent criminals back. But he's fighting in Nebraska here, right? So he's not going to be a perfect candidate on every single issue, and I won't agree with him on every single issue. But I do think that he is a very strong candidate for a red district in Nebraska. I would much rather have someone like Austin than a Republican or a centrist corporate Democrat who's not going to get anything done for the actual people of America. So again, protect our liberty from big government, big tech, and the surveillance state. Actually put America first, no funding for foreign wars. So yeah, end military blank check, stop arming dictators, break up the military industrial complex. Big one right there, talking about Eisenhower, again, a Republican president. He coined the term, and so he's calling it out there. So really impressive stuff, right? Obviously, I don't agree with the guy on everything. No one should, right? You should have different disagreements with every politician out there, but he's a very strong candidate, right? And someone who is running in Nebraska that is blowing everyone else out of the water. So he just announced his campaign. Very interesting candidate. Wanted to take a look and share it with you guys. So let me know what you guys think down below of Austin. He seems like a really cool guy. I'd love to talk with him. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for me. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe down below and leave a like. And I think that's going to do it. So have a great day. I'm Iago Lashua. Goodbye.